This is Micornus, Phokane, the leader and the founder of Young Men Empowerment Forum. We are dealing with the principles of extraordinary leaders. As a young man, I believe you want to be an extraordinary leader. And I've emphasized the fact that I want to develop you as an ordinary young man to become an extraordinary young man. And part of that is to make you an extraordinary leader. But there are principles to do that, because you're not going to just be an extraordinary leader without principles. And this is what I want to speak about right now. Remember, this is part 2 of this topic, and you can actually look back at the video that we've posted in the past, part 1 of this very same topic, and that will help you. Today we want to deal with execution over strategy as part of the principle that helps an individual to become an extraordinary leader. Now, as a young man, as you develop into becoming an extraordinary leader, there's what we call strategy. Now, strategy is what we call plans, but articulated plans that are written down, that are like a mind map. So it's a mind map that you have written down that you can be able to follow. Now, strategy, therefore, as it is written, it is something that you can follow step by step because it's written step by step. So therefore, you must decide over a strategy on what is the first step in this regard. What is the second step thereof? What is the third step that will take me there? And you are able to evaluate each and every step if it is progressive enough to take you to where you want to go. This is what we call a strategy. Now, it's a mind map in the beginning, but what you do is you actually bring forth your own mind map onto paper. You put it pen and paper onto your mind map. So therefore you would know the way forward. Remember, when you've got a strategy will be able to take you to where you want to be. And therefore you strategize based on the vision that you have and tell yourself where you want to be, the destiny that you have, and you want to tell yourself, how do I get there? And that's how you draft a strategy, therefore, which becomes a mind map of the steps that you'll take along the way towards the destiny that you have in front of you. Now, as a young man, you want to be an extraordinary leader. So therefore, I would say the first thing that you need to have is to have that mind map first, to have the vision, to have what we call a destiny, to have a pictorial journey of where you are going and how you want to achieve that, and therefore put up some steps pictorially in your mind first before you put it down on writing. And when you put it down on writing, we call that a strategy. Now, when we talk about a strategy is a strategy, but it cannot be executing itself. So therefore, we have said that a strategy is a plan. When it's written down and put on paper, it is not enough. It needs what we call execution over that strategy. And that's what we speak about. If you want to be an extraordinary leader, therefore, be a person of execution. Be a person who's able to make sure that everything that is written is being applied. Now, that is why I want to say that if you want to be an extraordinary leader, somebody who executes strategies, prioritize action more than anything else. Because many times we fantasize about the destinies that we have. We fantasize about the journey that is ahead of us. We fantasize about the visions that we have and dreams that we have. But I want to emphasize that dreams will remain dreams until they're executed, until they're being put into action. So therefore, prioritize action as a young man, and that will develop you into what we call an extraordinary leader. Make sure that everything that you think of, everything that you plan, everything that you put up on a strategy, you become an action man. And this is very important because many of people, they talk over things and they think that those things will happen just automatically. They share their dreams onto people and they write them down, but they think that that alone will actually execute. But I want to emphasize that execution still remains your responsibility. So therefore, become an action person. Prioritize actions and make sure that you action every single plan that you put up. I'm reminded of people that are putting plans on the 31st of December every year and planning for the following year. And they call that New Year resolutions. And they've got New Year resolutions every year. But when you look at it, it's basically the same New Year resolutions year by year. and it doesn't seem to be executed at all. It doesn't seem like there's an action that is being applied here. And I want to urge you as a young man that as long as you don't put action into everything that you do, you may not see through whatever you plan to do. You may not be able to achieve the roadmap that you put down on paper. And you may not be able to reach the destiny that you were wishing to reach, or that you desire to be at, because it is not going to happen until you prioritize action. Secondly, I want to also say focus on results, because the people that are prioritizing actions and never think about the results, they are not motivated at all, because results will always motivate you. Now, everything that you do, don't do for the sake of it, because there are many times that we action things, but we don't really look at what do we want to achieve. Because when you want to achieve results, results should be your focus for this particular time. Let me speak about if you're a sales manager as a young man. If the results that you're looking for is the sales, the business, the top line. And you wanna make sure that you make delivery of those sales. So therefore, it is very important that you focus on the results as you're putting the action, because the action will lead you to the results. But the results should be the pictorial map that is driving you, because the results then become the vision that you want to fulfill. The results therefore become the destiny that you want to arrive at. And as a young man, I want to urge you that if you want to be an extraordinary leader, focus on results. And I want to give an example with sports coaches. Sports coaches, when they coach people, they don't coach people for the sake of coaching them. They don't coach them just to shape up their skills, but they think of results, because everything else that they coach you towards is for you to be able to help in achieving the results of the team. So that is very important, that you focus on results, because results therefore will help you to be able to articulate this particular strategy in the sense of execution. You'll be able to prioritize action when you know what the results that you want to achieve. And I want to urge you as a young man, please, many times whatever you do, whether you are a young man who is still studying, whether you are a young man who's planning for his own business, I don't know what you're doing. But whatever you're planning right now, I want you to think of the results, because the results will come as an injection of life in you. As I've said, it motivates you. It makes you to want to achieve. It makes you to want to drive towards achievement of those results. And when you've got the results before you, you are able, therefore, to be motivated. And I've said before that motivation comes into two parts, which will be what we call extrinsic motivation and what we call intrinsic motivation. Now, results may be extrinsic motivation when you look at them, but they actually instill what we call an intrinsic motivation, because a result-driven person becomes somebody who's motivated from within eventually. And I want to emphasize that as a young man, you want to achieve, yes, but you must be motivated from within. And that's what we call intrinsic motivation, therefore. Now, a young man who's dreaming of becoming an extraordinary leader, this is a principle. Execute over strategy. Make sure that you prioritize your actions, and we have said that you focus on results. But also don't only focus on results, adapt and overcome obstacles in your life. Remember that it's not going to be easy. The journey towards achievement is not an easy journey. Let's give an example. If you were to build a business from the scratch as a young man, you are an entrepreneur, and you want to build a business from the scratch, it's not an easy journey. You're going to meet difficulties. You're going to have some hindrances along the way. You're going to have obstacles along the way. But I want to emphasize that if you're not ready to adapt and overcome obstacles, you're not going to be able to achieve that which you want to achieve. You must be ready and that you're going to meet obstacles. You must be ready to know that you're going to meet challenges. And as you meet challenges, tell yourself, I'm going to face them head on. And I want to make sure that I conquer those obstacles, and I make sure that I win in every situation that I do. And that is what we call execution over strategy. Now, you want to be an extraordinary leader? Yes, adapt. Because adaptation is very important. There are many of us who are actually expecting the environment to adjust to us. We're expecting the environment to be what we want at all times. But I want to challenge you and say life is not that way. You will find a life that will be totally opposite what you expected. And situations will be totally opposite to what you expected. And many times you want to achieve this, but there's those obstacles that will be readjusting you and show you flames and direct you to something else. And that is what I mean. You must adapt to those situations. And sometimes adaptation may mean that you adapt to environments. And sometimes those environments may not be conducive to you. It might be people that are places that you've never lived in, might be places that you've never been. And that is why I want to emphasize that adaptation may be because you are in an environment that you've never been. Imagine if you are from Africa, now going to establish a business in Europe, where it is forever cold. Their winter is actually cold to the fact that it's having snow almost every day. And now you may not be able to adjust quickly to the weather or to the temperatures, but you must learn to adapt. Because if you're not going to adapt, then you may abort the same business that you want to establish in that environment. Now, it is not only environmental things that you must adapt to. You must be able to adapt to the type of people that you are dealing with, the type of people that are there. As a leader, be able to be adaptable and deal with different kinds of people, because people are of different behaviors. People are of different challenges. People may actually challenge you in the very same situation that you are in. And I want to emphasize the fact that you must be able to adapt. And not only to do that, but overcome every single obstacle that come your way. Some obstacles are brought by environments, as I've said, but some obstacles are brought by people, and majority of them are brought by people. So therefore, be able to overcome those obstacles in your life. And that's the only way you're going to see the day, the light of the day. You're going to see the breakthrough in your life, in everything that you do, and become an extraordinary leader by simple adaptation. And that's what we call execution over strategy. And I want to end up here today. The host, Micornus, Phokane, the leader and the founder of the Young Men Empowerment Forum. I hope that you learn quite a bit out of this, and you are going to apply all these principles in your life to start to see success in everything that you do. Don't forget our social media platforms, our Facebook page, Micornus Phokane, Facebook page, Young Men Empowerment Forum. I want to urge you to like those pages, follow us there, and also click notification buttons. Our YouTube channel, Young Men Empowerment Forum, it is there for you. There are a lot of materials that were posted there in the past. They will help you as well. Follow us on TikTok as well. And I believe that you are learning out of that. Your life shall never be the same as a young man, as we teach you to become extraordinary leader in your life. These are the principles. Follow us as we move on to part 3 tomorrow. May the good Lord bless you. Allow me to check out right here and say cheers for now.